I'm Blake.
I'm Lily.
I'm Omar from the Phoenix Within.
And this is OnlyBands!
Yay! I think that's the best one we've done yet.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
Hi, Omar. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to give a little blurb about the Phoenix Within?
Sure. So the Phoenix Within is a rock band from Queens, New York. I'm the front man. My name is Omar Feliciano. And the band is backed by three brothers. There's Nick Narlis, the bassist, John Narlis, the guitarist, and James Narlis, the drummer.
Ooh.
Awesome. Are you guys all from Queens, or did you meet from other areas?
We are all from Queens, but Queens is, huge.
Oh, yeah.
So they're over by Bayside. I'm from, South Ozone Park, so closer to like JFK Airport area around there.
Oh, chill.
Got it. Very cool.
That's pretty nice. Also, if you ever need to travel, you're not too far from the airport.
Never. I'm always ready to leave the country. Always.
Always ready to go. It's like, I'm ready. Let's go.
It's like,
leave everything.
I got it at DUI. Might as well just fly to England.
Just leave it.
Yep. Just go. Just get out of the country whenever you need.
Hey, Mom, can you forward my mail?
Yeah, Omar, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for representing the Phoenix Within. You guys had something drop yesterday that I'm sure we're going to talk about, which is amazing, might I add.
Absolutely amazing. I agree. I got the pleasure of listening to a sneak peek of it a little bit ago when you sent that file, bless.
And yes, I've been listening to that file for a couple days now and really enjoying it.
Yeah. Do you want to give a little blurb about what inspired Remake?
Sure. So Remake it's basically a song about reinventing oneself. I think we all have a moment in life, some of those moments that are pretty pivotal. You're dealing with whatever it is that you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. Changes have to be made, it comes to the point where you're like staring at yourself in the mirror and you gotta change something, like whatever it is that's standing in the way of your happiness. And sometimes that involves us completely reinventing ourselves, whether it's physically or emotionally or mentally, and this song is about that. So we released it yesterday on all online digital platforms. We also dropped a music video. Thank you so much. It is always a little victory for the artist, right? Like to be able to just let it go. It's like, all right, here it is.
Yep, it's time. Just release your baby out into the world for other people to listen to.
I know it's ugly, but I love it.
Definitely not ugly.
Definitely not.
Yes. Ugly, definitely not. I think you guys in the lyrics definitely come across as that choice that you have to make when you're remaking yourself is not always the easiest choice either. It's not the easiest path that you're choosing to take. And I think you can kind of hear about that struggle in the song and about how it's worth it once you have recreated yourself.
You hit it on the nail. Facts.
But when you guys write music that's so relatable, it's very easy to kind of connect to it.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Honestly, that means a lot.
Yeah. So how long have y'all been a band for?
So the Phoenix Within, I formed it in 2012, and 2013 was our first, I released a full-length album. It was self-titled at the time. But this particular lineup, we got together, 2019, this particular lineup came together. And since then, we've been just, throwing out a flurry of singles. The first one that we released was actually called South Ozone, which is the area where I'm from. And it's like a biography, basically an autobiography of the neighborhood I was raised in, the people I work with, and, family. And then it was just one after another. Then we released I think that same year, actually, we released another song called Copycat. And it's just about an artist having the authenticity and, not being scared to just not jump on any bandwagon. Just do you, do you without, you can still respect other artists. You don't need to rip them off. Just, they can still influence you, but you don't have to copy their style, And then in 2020, I want to say we released like another like 4 singles. One was called Daddy Issues. And that song
That was the first one that attracted my eye. I was like, oh, wait a minute, this band understands.
So Daddy Issues, if you got to hear it, it's you know, yeah, it's about me, yeah, sure. And then we released a little rock ballad called Hypothetical. It's a little love song. And then that was followed by Tenfold, which is I would say that one is what your recurring theme is in your podcast. It's a little more about, you know, the social climate here. You know how people tend to use the power of words to hurt instead of help, or bridge, or you know, make somebody's day. You know, so that song targets that. And then we released this year in 2021, January, we released a song called Pessimist.
That's one of my favorites.
Fantastic song.
Thank you so much. So Pessimist, we were lucky enough, it actually made it to the iTunes rock charts, where it sat at number 9 for at least 5 days or so.
That is amazing.
It climbed all the way up.
That
is the first time
fantastic.
it ever happened.
Especially because it feels like with the pandemic and quarantine, so many bands have created singles. They haven't so much done albums, but so many bands have put singles out there. For you guys to be at number 9 in iTunes, you are against some pretty hard hitters, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, we, you know, it's true. You know, and if we were completely humbled, we felt completely blessed by the whole thing. It did have a lot to do with pre-saves. You know, to the fans and the friends and the family, we just want to thank them, you know, and to the strangers that we probably, you know, like that we see and we harass, and like, please, you know, every single pre-save helps, you know, and it really does help when people pre-order your stuff. It just, you know, puts you through that. So it was really an amazing experience. It felt like a real victory. And then yesterday we dropped Remake, and that's where we are now.
Blake, do you have the total download count yet? I know how you are with that. Blake always is following like the total download count and total plays on Spotify.
Always.
Considering it came out yesterday, I'm shocked Blake isn't on top of that.
Well,
that is amazing. That's quite a lineup for you guys to have, especially with just having singles mostly since the pandemic, it seems.
Yeah. It's not showing it on their Spotify, but I do want to point out that not only do you have over 1,000 monthly listeners, but you also have close to like 20,000 on pretty much every single that you've put out, which is absolutely incredible.
Consistency.
Yeah.
You gotta love the consistency.
Yeah. The lowest listens is Pessimist, which has over 14,000 listens. And the one that has the most is Tenfold with over 49,000.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I know, that's amazing. That's great.
Blake's our numbers guy, so he's the one that always numbers.
Yeah.
But that is amazing. And if you guys have not heard Remake yet, definitely go check it out. That is definitely something that I think a lot of people can connect to. It's all about the hard choices you make in life and having to rebuild yourself, which is not an easy thing to do. And you guys, I think, in that song, encaptured that moment very, very well.
Definitely. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. It's an incredible song, and y'all are incredibly talented.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So with that, what inspired you to create this kind of music?
I've always been a writer. I've always written, but I was pretty late to pick up the guitar, you know, like that came after. But I always, you know, I was a very angry kid, you know, so I tried to not let it get to that point. And at some point I just switched to just writing down my feelings. And, you know, that turned into, later on when I actually picked up the instrument, it turned into lyrics. And it just became so much easier. Like it was like you always did one thing and then the other thing just helped enhance it. And, you know, and it just became my medium. That's my form of expression. So like I have songs like of all kinds of nonsense. Like I've written wedding songs for folks. I've written songs about, you know, New Year's resolutions. There's a song called Maybe Next Year that we wrote. You know, whatever it is, like, you know, Tenfold was something that like completely came about just because, you know, of everything that was going on with the Black Lives Matter movements at the time, you know, and still going on, you know. whatever it is, like whatever comes to my mind, whatever I'm feeling, I'm gonna write it down. Eventually, we'll write something musically that once that musical element kicks in, somehow I just scan over my notes. I'm just like, this would fit this, and then we take it from there.
That's awesome. And you're writing about things that are relevant and things that you're passionate about. And I think that definitely shows in the music itself. Technically, your guys' instruments are wonderful with the rhythms that you guys choose. It all seems to fit really well, but it's the lyrics that just kind of holds it all together that seems to work so well for it.
Definitely. Definitely agree. And what is your vision for the Phoenix Within for the next couple of years?
I'll give you my grand scheme here. My grand goal really, honestly, is to one day be able to, make a song that really strikes a chord with people, plays on those hard chords and gets me a Grammy. That is my ultimate goal for sure. That is, I'm a member of the Recording Academy, and it's something that I have set up there. I don't know how long it'll take, 20, 30, 40 years, but I'm sure one day it'll happen. And that's my main goal. As of short-term goals, during the pandemic, the Phoenix Within, we released 2 books. So I authored 2 guitar chord books based off of the albums that we released. So the first one was Established and then the second one was Whispers. We have set into motion writing a 3rd book based off these newer songs. And, we're actually sitting on an album right now. So we're going to type it out, and get that published. We have 2 festivals lined up for in September. The first one is, I know we were talking about Ohio. The first one's going to be Incarceration.
Yep,
So,
I was actually looking at that before the interview last night. I was seeing you guys are going to be in my neck of the woods.
Yes, so I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, so you guys, and there's some huge bands you guys are playing with. I was looking at the list, and it's huge. It's a huge festival, and you guys are going to be part of it, and that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a true honor, and I'm really excited for y'all. Like, that's an incredible achievement. Yeah.
I'm pumped and I'm humbled because so many of these bands are like the ones that I listen to, like Slipknot, Mudvayne, A Day to Remember. Like, they are on the heavier end, but it's like, I love stuff like that. And it's just to be even on the poster. I don't care if the font is like 8. Like, I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You frame it up and put it on your refrigerator. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
And then what's the other festival you guys are playing? You mentioned 2 festivals.
Yeah. So the other one's called the Blue Ridge Rock Festival, and that one is in Virginia, Danville, Virginia, and that one is just as crazy. That one's got Breaking Benjamin, Hailstorm.
My first concert ever.
Lamb of God, Seether, Five Finger Death Punch, I Prevail, Rise Against. It's so many artists, and we're beyond pumped and humbled to be even a part of it or considered for it. So that's what we have aligned in September. Definitely before the year ends, we're going to release an album, and that's what we're working towards at now. 5 years from now or so, I'd love to be on the tour. Like I'd love to be away, maybe with a band like Beartooth, or I don't know, maybe even A Day to Remember or Bayside.
I was gonna say, reach for the stars, go for A Day to Remember. They just put out an album not too long ago.
Yeah. So something like that would be great. But that's my short and long-term goals.
Well, that's awesome. It seems like you guys are really working towards those goals, especially with having these 2 festivals that are coming up. Now that people are kind of coming out of isolation, I'm sure they're looking for that normality that they had before, and music seems to be one thing that people really gravitate towards.
Yeah, definitely.
Music is soul.
It is.
Yeah. And wow, those are just some incredible lineups. Like, wow, I am truly excited for y'all. That is, wow, like leaving me almost speechless in a way, because that's like,
that's huge bands.
Yeah, they're huge. Like, the amount of exposure that you're going to get from just those like fests is probably going to at least double your numbers. Wow.
That's
that's the hope. The road to the Grammy.
I'm knocking on wood right now. I'm knocking on wood.
Yeah. That being said, how did COVID kind of impact y'all as musicians, both personally and musically?
I mean, in the sense that, it affected us the same way it affected all artists, I guess, in the sense that you can't go out there and perform, which is a big factor. It's a big factor, for live musicians or for indie artists or for any artist who makes money by ticket sales or merch sales. That was a big thing. But in all honesty, it not as bad as, knock on wood, like it kind of feels like survivor's guilt, It just really gave me a chance to sit down and like analyze numbers, analyze the data. Where are we getting plays? Where are we getting this from? The first couple of months of the hardcore pandemic era, we were, thanks to, again, fans, friends, family, merch sales were good. And we were able to go into the studio, and record into this. Like we booked out a whole week into the studio. I remember we were able to book the whole week, and it just changed everything. We were all following, COVID restrictions we're seeing with our masks and stuff now, but we were able to bang out so much more work, and it's like, and, we're just, the goal is always work for us. Like, it's like, what's next? Yes, we released Remake yesterday. That's great. I'm glad, I'm pumped, what's next? It's always like, what's next?
It's always about doing the next thing.
It's always about the next thing. Like I personally am terrified of just staying stagnant. And I always feel like we have to break, something. I love breaking things.
Hopefully not instruments.
Oh, those instruments can be expensive too.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
When you guys go into the studio, do you already kind of have like the structure of what you want to record down, or do you go in like completely blank, straight on inspiration?
No way. That's complete. That sounds so scary.
You guys have a plan when you go into a studio?
we do a lot of pre-recording. So John, the guitarist, he went to school for like audio engineering and stuff. So our practice space is like, when we practice with headphones through interfaces. We have an electronic drum set clicked in. So it's just like, we have our writing days, we'll write our stuff. We'll work on verses, chorus, and try to expand the song as much as we can. We bring the song to what we think is the best possible peak. And then when you go to the studio, just, it just makes it easier when you're working with the producer. It's just like, all right, how do we
getting more perspective, getting a different sight at what create it.
Yeah, what can we do here, like to enhance it, or like to make it prettier or nicer in this part or heavier in this part. And it just it's just like playtime. That's what it is. It's like it's at that point it's not work. I feel like the other way around, it's like, come on guys, we would have to work. You have to work, right? You're pushing each other, but at the same time money's already being spent. I feel like that would drive me nuts.
Yeah. I think that's a really great way of doing it, because if you're paying to be in a studio, you obviously want to have some kind of finished product. So I think having that kind of pre-plan is really smart. But I think a lot of bands just kind of go off of inspiration. Like once they're in the studio, then they'll write a song. And I feel like that would be very nerve-wracking and anxiety driving.
Yeah.
Or if it's an artist who's probably not writing their songs, I guess, maybe they're working with a producer who's doing the writing for them. Then I understand. Like it's like, okay. No,
but you guys
yeah.
write the lyrics yourselves. So you kind of have that freedom of starting off with the lyrics. And then, like you said, you hear a riff or something and you're like, oh, these lyrics would go really well with that. So you guys can kind of pair it together on your own.
Yeah. Or the energy of the
time in the studio.
Yeah. So
we love that. Like at our studio, there's this, we always joke around about why we keep going to the studio. And there's this really awesome diner. Shout out to Sparta Diner. Dude, this diner is so good. No, this is in Jersey. So we
Jersey, okay.
Represent.
Yeah.
We need Zach in here.
Yeah, that's where our event specialist is, New Jersey.
I was actually born in New Jersey. I was born in Passaic. So just heads up. Yeah. But yeah, no, we record in the Byram Township in New Jersey. At a studio called the Audio Pilot Studio with
of course
Rob Freeman.
Yeah. Is that where Zach records also?
No, but I know like so many bands that record there. In fact, the ones you forgot are recording there.
Of course, Blake. Of
Oh.
course.
We love Rob Freeman.
So,
Yeah,
so
Rob-
that
that's who I work
diner
with.
is what always brings you guys back to the studio.
That's for me. I don't know about the other
Yeah.
bands. If they don't know about Sparta Diner, they better get on that. Like
Gotta
that
get
place
on
is
it.
no joke. Sometimes
That's
we're
so
just
funny.
like, should we go to the studio? Are we ready? And then we're just like, we could get Sparta. All right, let's book it. Let's go.
Big stomachs.
It's a
Let's do
decisive
awesome.
factor.
I'll tell you.
That's awesome. If nothing else, Sparta. That's amazing. So here comes a fun question.
Oh.
You're having dinner with 5 other people, dead or alive, but real people. Who are you having dinner with?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
A dinner. Okay.
5 people, real people, but anyone in the world, dead or alive.
Alexander Dumas. I have so many questions about this. H.G. Wells.
Ah.
Those are the writers. I definitely would like to meet those people. Give me Da Vinci. I have some questions for that guy. What's this guy? Oh my God, it's killing me right now. I'm gonna throw some musicians in there. All right, here we go.
Go for it.
Front man for Third Eye Blind. I just think
Okay.
I fucking love that guy.
Of
And the
course.
front man from The Killers, Brandon Flowers.
Oh, of course.
Brandon
We
Flowers.
gotta have the Killers at the
That's
table.
was that 5? I think that
That
was
was 5.
5. those are
Brandon
the 5 people.
Flowers is the top there.
That's got
He's
to.
up there for me. He's up there for me.
From
And the guy
their,
from
their
Third Eye
Hot
Blind.
Fuss
Yeah.
album, I was a fan, hands
Mhm.
down.
Something about it. I don't know. I just dig him.
So
Yeah,
a little
his
fun
voice
fact.
is so distinct. He has such a
Yeah.
distinct voice that
Yeah.
you immediately know who it is when you hear
But
him
you can
sing.
still hear his influences too. Like you can tell he's definitely a Bruce Springsteen fan. You know.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Actually, he just released a song. I think it's featuring Bruce.
Is it really?
That's
That's
amazing.
Yeah. And I was just like, when I was like, I downloaded it and I was just like, I knew it. I was like, I knew it.
Yep.
So a
That
little
is
fun
really cool.
fact about me. When I was younger and I did School of Rock.
When you were young.
When we were young.
Sorry,
you
I
get
had to do a
it?
Killers joke. Come on.
You get it?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah. That was great. So when we were young by the Killers, now playing on Spotify, I was in this like performance group as part of School of Rock. I was like 13 or whatever, and we did Mr. Brightside, in which I partly covered that on the keyboards.
Nice. I think Mr. Brightside was a turning point for the Killers because they had some
Definitely.
popular songs, but Mr. Brightside seemed to be the one that you heard in movies and TV.
Mhm.
And
Karaoke.
and Omar,
Yeah.
we're probably going to hear something from Phoenix Within that's going to be a turning point in a TV show. Grey's Anatomy.
Definitely.
Can you imagine the Phoenix Within playing during Grey's Anatomy or something?
Oh,
I can see it.
I don't
You know
know.
what? I can see it. Or we could
I hope
even
so.
like have, or like the Phoenix Within playing as part of like some haunted,
Game of
like-
Thrones.
yeah, Game of Thrones.
a spin-off of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's
I mean, they have a
perfect.
prequel show coming out. Maybe
Yeah,
Phoenix
yeah,
Within
yeah.
can have a
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. Maybe,
Yeah, what's
maybe
stopping you?
I need to start working.
Road to the Grammys.
Yes.
That's the goal.
That's so funny.
So who
Like, what
are
else you got?
so who are you outside of music? Like, if music was not a thing in your life, who are you as a person? What are your
Music will
hobbies?
forever be a thing of my life. I cannot fathom my life without music. But I am
I know.
also I love science. Science is my thing. So I obtained a
Hence
bachelor's
H.G.
degree.
Wells.
I obtained
Yeah.
a bachelor's degree in biology from
Ooh.
York College in Jamaica, Queens, New York.
Wow.
That is also the place where I work. So I work there for the biology department as a college laboratory technician. I'm also working on my master's now at Queens College, also majoring in biology. So that's my other side. So I guess I'm musician scientist, you know.
That's amazing. That's
that's
not a
actually kinda
combination
cool.
we hear a lot. Typically,
Yeah.
like musician gamer, musician cook, but musician scientist, that should be a genre on its own.
Definitely. I can already see like a new Phoenix Within song being literally about like a mad scientist.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Actually, Remake when it like I know you I don't know if you guys had a chance to see the music video, but like so the music video's theme was I guess kind of like Black Swanish, like where
Okay.
a person's like trying to master this one particular set of dance moves, but they're failing and they're falling and they're crashing on the floor and getting back up and trying it again until they finally nail it towards the end. But the science me was like, what if?
What if?
I love
it.
What
Aliens.
if? Instead, like it's like a person who's like just fucking. Oh shit! Am I allowed to curse in this? Oh,
Yeah.
so late.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
It was like curse. Oh, reflection, curse again. Okay, no, sorry. But what if the person was just like basically cloning themselves? It's like, they had this imperfection and they're just like, here's the chamber, they're fixing the error, and then it's like they come out and then they're like, they find some other fault that they're like, society is telling them they're not fit for it. So they go back to the chamber, design on you, then reclone, kill off the old clone, comes out, and it's just this manufacturing of yourself while you're just trying to improve.
So kind of like an Ex Machina Blade Runner feel to it.
Yes, imagine.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Like every time you make a mistake, you literally recreate yourself.
Yes.
That is now you.
Freaky,
is now
right?
your intelligence,
So
and you get killed off. That's fascinating. I love
That's freaky,
Oh,
right?
that is just magical.
Yeah.
I love that.
That is very H.G. Wells. I will give you that. Or I think that actually might be more along Martha Wells.
Probably, yeah.
With Murderbot.
No, yes.
Yeah, but I love that premise. I think that premise is amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, that's
the director
actually
of Black
really
Swan
cool.
definitely should have taken that from you. Darren Aronofsky, I think it was.
Do it.
That's actually
really
really
cool.
cool. Yeah. Okay, if you could be an animal, any animal in the world, and be that animal for 24 hours, do whatever the fuck you want, but it doesn't affect your karma, and you transform back to human after that 24 hours, what animal would you be and what would you do?
That's a hard one. Because that's a really hard one because all I do is like watch those nature shows, I'm like, I'll be like, I'm gonna eat something, and I'm the type of person that likes to watch something while they're eating,
Mm-hmm.
And so like I watch like a lot of nature shows. I love David Attenborough, So that's a hard one, man. You got me there. You know what? I'm gonna, just for the sake of it, I'm just gonna go and say like some kind of bird, probably like a hawk or even like a vulture or anything that can fly, just because I feel like if it's only 24 hours and I only get to do so much, like I guess it would be nice to fly over, like, to fly and
you can write a song about it later.
Hell yeah. Something about soaring higher. Oh wait, that's Creed. No.
You were talking about influences. That's not stealing, it's influence. I don't think Creed spent 24 hours as a bird. Possibly.
How do you know?
And you know what? You can also do the world a favor and just shit on Donald Trump.
Oh, good. Or any of your enemies.
Yeah, you could just shit on all your enemies.
Just pull out that spreadsheet.
You take these questions so far.
Pull out that spreadsheet.
That's my specialty.
Yeah.
All right, and what are your
really funny.
top? What TV shows, movies, etc. are you watching right now? Top 3.
Right now. Okay, right now. Okay, let's see. I just watched. I didn't even watch it. I fell asleep while I was watching it, but that was only because it was really late. But like Rick and Morty episode 1, I was watching that yesterday.
Science, of course.
No, yeah.
Just wait till Pickle Rick.
On Hulu, I'm watching. No, I'm caught up with Rick and Morty. The new season started. Yes, I think last week. So I watched episode 1 of the new season. My bad. And then I'm watching on Hulu. I went down like nostalgia lane. So I've never watched Family Matters, so I'm watching Family Matters from like
Okay.
from like scratch. I think I'm like up to
Classic.
season 2. You know, what else am I watching? And the other one is the Cosmos.
Is
Which
that
Cosmos?
the
It's
Fairly
with
Odd Parents?
no.
no.
It's with the astrophysicist who's the director of like the Museum of Natural History. Oh my God, his name just slipped me right now. But it's called Cosmos. But and like I think like the producer of the show is actually the guy from Family Guy, the guy who created
Oh.
Family
That's
Guy.
McFarlane?
Yeah, like he does all like
Interesting.
Okay.
production for it, like the.
I've heard of the Cosmos because I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of space and all that
Yeah,
good
yeah.
stuff.
It's basically
Okay.
a show about that, and I just can't think of why the name of this scientist is slipping me. But he's I have to Google it. I'm sorry. Like, so I'm just
I'm gonna
looking down
bank
right
while
now.
you're doing that. I'm gonna bank off of Blake's questions. I'm gonna ask you because you're the sci-fi guy. What are your 3 favorite sci-fi movies?
Oh, I have so many. Sci-fi. I'm gonna go with Matrix. Matrix is I love that whole saga thing. I think
Okay.
it was pretty cool. Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's it.
Oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay.
His show.
Oh.
Cosmos, Possible Worlds. I think that's yeah. So yeah, I love that show.
Also, a fun fact is that The Matrix is literally about being trans.
It is.
And that is why
The
we
2
stand.
sisters, the Wachowski sisters now literally talk about how that's what the story originated around, which is kind of funny.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, and both of them started out directing it as men, and now they have both transitioned to women, which
You
is kind of
just
fascinating.
blew
Yeah.
my mind. And did you hear
Yep.
they're making a 4?
Yep.
Oh, I
Oh
have
my
Neil
to see
Patrick
that.
Harris is supposed to be in it. I don't know
Mhm.
how
It's
that's gonna work, but
insane. I can't wait. I'm pumped.
yeah, the Wachowski sisters started out the Wachowski brothers, and they are both transitioned, and they have come out talking about how the Matrix was all about waking up in the wrong body and slowly becoming yourself.
Yeah.
And then
That's
they
so
added the
awesome.
religion into it.
What religion?
The savior
Yeah, okay.
aspect of it.
The Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
man,
is
that's
why we
insane.
stand.
Yep.
Yes.
Love the
I never
Matrix.
knew that.
We need 2
Other than
more
Matrix,
top
I need
movies.
2 more. I need 2 more.
2 more sci movies. Jesus, you got me there. What did I say? Matrix was War of the Worlds was okay.
H.G. Wells. Classic.
Yeah, that one's also an H.G. Wells.
Gotta.
And then what else? I when I was a kid, I watched E.T. like 26 times. Oh,
I was terrified of E.T. as a kid.
What was my really? Oh no.
Oh, terrified.
Tears. My little sister loved it growing up, so we watched we had it on VHS, so we watched it like 1,000 times. I lowered it to 20 something times, but no. What was my choice number 2? I take that out.
You said War of the Worlds.
Okay, take that out. Take that out. AI.
AI, artificial
good
intelligence. That's a classic.
That one is like definitely for
Yeah.
sure. Those 2 for sure are like.
With
I
you being a
definitely love
biology
AI.
guy, have you ever seen Annihilation with Natalie Portman?
Annihilation with Natalie Portman.
It is.
Is that the one where they
fascinating.
have the clones in the sky and they use them for parts?
Nope. It's all about plant life and how this area of the world has started to create its own biome. It's sci-fi horror, but it is so fascinating. I think you'd like it as a biology person.
All right.
Oh.
Definitely have to check it out.
Damn,
And
I can't
one
believe I
more.
never saw that. I never even saw a preview for that.
Yep. It kind of flew under the radar because it came out at a time when some really big movies were coming out, and it is such a great movie.
You know what's good? Okay, my third one's gonna be the one where the plants start killing people.
The Happening?
The Happening. That was a cool.
That's
It was freaky, man. It was freaky.
It's so
I loved
cheesy
it.
acting, but I love that movie so much.
Of course, the acting was trash, but it was like when you think about it, like, oh crap.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I went outside and started sweet talking the tree, like, oh,
To think like
do
the
it.
world could just kind of turn on you and be like, you know what? We've had enough of pollution.
not?
We're just going to
Why
release
not?
toxins and everybody's going to kill themselves.
I was like, yo, I just went outside and like hugged the tree and everything, you know? I was like, no,
M.
don't
Night
do it.
Shyamalan Before the Downfall, The Happening.
That being said, if you're thinking of suicide, you might want to call a hotline.
Yes, call a hotline. Don't actually.
Facts.
It's a movie,
Facts.
guys.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are, I'll leave them at that. Yeah.
Those
I
are
like
some
it.
good choices.
I like it. What is your favorite color?
For me, it's
And-
green.
I
Like
knew
hunter-
it! I
Hunter
knew
green.
it!
Yeah.
I was about to say green for you.
Hunter green is my thing, yeah.
Dark,
I love it.
Yeah, that darker green. I like that darker green. Makes me happy. I actually spent some days in Nevada like a few weeks back, and I was like, I couldn't live here. There's like almost no green anywhere.
It's
I was like,
all
this-
brown.
Oh my God. And the only word that came to my mind was chicharron. Do you guys know what chicharron is? You know,
I've heard the
No.
word, but I don't know what the definition
like-
is.
it's like bacon, I guess, you know, like, or pork rings or whatever.
Okay,
It's basically like the fat part, you know, like when the fat, you put it into
Mhm.
like, you know, to grill or whatever.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because you know, I got my fat, you know, and I'm walking down the street and the sun is just beating you up. There's no trees you can hide
It's
under.
cooking you like
And I'm
bacon.
just like, chicharron. Like, you know, it was just awful. Yeah, that's my story.
That's hilarious.
I love it.
When you go to Nevada, think bacon.
Yeah, it was awful.
What is your favorite food?
Chicharron.
Actually, wait, let me change that.
I'm
Let
actually
me change
vegetarian.
If you could be any food in the world,
Be any food?
yes,
No.
be any food.
That seems a bit sadistic.
I would want to be spoiled something so they don't touch me.
So nobody. I don't think
Don't touch
I've
me.
ever had a conscious thought about. I wonder what food I would be.
Yeah, I don't want to be anything. Don't bite me.
Be like
I
a
was-
durian fruit or something that
Not
people
like this.
don't do.
I mean, I always get asked these days, if you could be a
What?
fruit, what fruit would you be? Or if you could be like
A durian fruit, so
no,
nobody
no.
would eat you.
No, thank you. Make me a ceramic fruit. Question.
Like with the questions.
Let me change that. If you could be a tree, what tree would you be?
Oh, that's an easy one. I always like those. Oh crap! Is it a weeping or?
Weeping willows.
Well,
Yes,
Willow?
I like those. I've always liked those trees.
They're beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like I like them. You just walk up to them like, you're nice.
Nice.
Please don't kill me. I'm one of the good
Don't
ones.
kill me. Don't kill me.
Lily, what tree would you be?
I would love to be a Japanese maple. I've always loved the
Ooh.
red, dark maroon leaves that they have. Now, this question I have thought about before.
Yeah.
That's fair. I personally would be a juniper tree.
A juniper.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, it's just something about like how they only live in extreme climates and like go through like the most extreme weather, but also like come out so pretty with like the little berries on them and just like their
They
bark
remake
is
themselves?
so calm.
Hey.
A little bit of a drop there.
Yeah,
remake
yeah, they literally
themselves.
remake themselves every year. That was a great pun.
I try. Bring it all back around to the music.
Got it. Yes. Yes. And I'm probably going to guess that your favorite books are science-based.
No, I like hopping around. I do hop around. I'm actually more of I'm more of an autobiography kind of guy.
Ooh.
I like to
Interesting.
I like to I don't know, like I like to, you know, like there's so many great minds, so many great people. in
Is there
our
anyone's
history.
autobiography in particular that really kind of struck a chord with you?
Martin Luther King's, Gandhi.
Mhm.
I mean, so many. Like I just like I like seeing it from their eyes. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's their chance to really say it. You know, like yes, you can read about them, or that you know people can talk to you about them. Hollywood can portray their movie, but to actually read something that they wrote themselves
From a
to me
primary
is
source.
yeah, it's just like, oh wow, like that they would have never told you, like it's nice to see it that way. Obama's book was nice. It was good. But yeah, I'm more of an autobiography guy for sure. Even Eminem's book was like like I love
Really?
like yeah,
Wow.
like it's very interesting. Like I'm just like I don't know, I like that aspect more. Like it's kind of like when you hear a song, right? Like if a song like really hits you, maybe you look up the lyrics, right? And then you're just like you're really defining it, you're putting it under the microscope and stuff. And I feel like the autobiographies, like they fill that for me. Like I like that. I like knowing where their mind was when that great thing that they're known for in history happened,
I think with public figures, we're so used to hearing about them from other sources that we don't really hear about them as they say it. And I think reading an autobiography of someone who is a public figure absolutely makes sense because you understand that person in a way that the news could never really convey.
It's true. And it's like sometimes the news and the media, like one thing that you said can be turned into something else, like, and it's like, and that's just with anybody, right? Like you can have a conversation with somebody and it might go south just because maybe they just focus or hyper focus on one little thing. And it's like, but you don't know where it came from. Like, I guess for me, it's like, that's why I'm also like drawn to science, sometimes it's like, what is the cause, right? Like what happened here? Why did that happen?
Nice. I like that. Yeah. That's cool. I was actually not expecting that from you.
Do you think all scientists just read like Darwin's Journal of the Galapagos Islands over and over? Is that all the scientists read?
I love finches.
Yes.
How many times can you read about the plants of the Galapagos? No, but I think that's really cool. Autobiographies definitely are not a genre that I think a lot of people tend to gravitate towards.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's definitely an underrated and underread genre for sure. Yeah. So, if you could sit down, it's kind of similar to the table question, but if you could sit down with 5 fictional, non-real characters, and have dinner with them, what 5 fictional characters would you have dinner with?
Fictional characters, damn. All right, I mean, if it's fictional.
You're asking the autobiography guy about fictional characters.
I know. Right. That's the hard part.
We can do this. Fictional characters.
And I'm only asking this because Zach got us interested with anime characters on our last podcast with Wasale.
Our entire podcast was anime and video games.
Yes.
If it's fictional from anime,
no, just fictional in general.
No, just fictional in general.
No. We're gonna put Naruto in there because I want to know why he's such a shit dad.
Him just sitting there at the dinner table going, "Believe it," for like 2 hours. Can you pass the mashed potatoes? Believe it.
So throwing Naruto there because I got some questions that my friends and I want to know, get some clarity on. I definitely don't want Homer. I don't want Family Guy dude there. No, it's just gonna be chaos. No. All right,
just
fictional.
Seth MacFarlane's entire genre.
Fictional. Okay. All right. We're going back to H.G. Wells. I want the time machine guy.
Okay.
From there, I got some questions for that guy. Who was my first one again? Naruto. Sorry, Naruto. All right. And then after that, let's throw in Optimus Prime.
In a world.
Two more. Wolverine from X-Men. I love that guy. Who would be my 5th? Fuck it. Throw in Rick.
Rick
Sanchez. Yeah.
Oh gosh. You wouldn't even have dinner. He would take you off to some weird adventure.
And I can just picture like the dinner table being so tiny, and then there's Optimus Prime.
Your dinner guests sound like something that would be in an episode of Rick and Morty.
Right?
Right? Optimus Prime. Like, I could see that.
Right?
Just Optimus Prime, the most massive like Autobot.
Sitting there like drinking tea or something.
Yeah.
Like
Oil.
And then there's
like
tiny Naruto just going, believe it!
That's pretty good. Those are some good characters.
That's my choices.
That's funny.
I absolutely love that. That is the most unique response. I think we're just gonna have to do that question from now on, because that is just ridiculous.
Zach just does it because he likes talking about anime.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair, but at the same time, like, just that wild combination.
It does get some pretty wild answers. We've had some pretty crazy ones so far.
Definitely. I have to make that one of my standard questions now. Thank you. It is such an honor for you to be the first one I've asked that to.
Yay.
Yeah. So we're starting to run out of time, but we always end the podcast with this one very, very important question that generally Zach, bless, I hope he's feeling better, asks. And they ask, what is that one message that you want to convey with all of your music, future and current, to listeners? Like, if there's one message that you want to bring out with your music, what message is that?
It's a hard question. It's a hard question because I think as a musician or an artist, one doesn't want to limit themselves to either a particular genre. But let's say I set aside, John, I'm about to get Socrates on you. Let's set aside the genre.
Genre
let's
has
set
nothing
aside,
to do with it.
yeah, let's set aside the
Whatever
instruments.
genre.
Yeah. I think my thing, or at least my recurrent theme, if you look at all the stuff I've put out with the Phoenix Within, even when I started the Phoenix Within, it's just a sense of, definitely I wanted to portray originality. And that's not to say like you can't hear the influences of what I've listened to. I want it to be authentic, and I want it to be true. I want it to be like, I don't want to have fear to like, or I don't want to ever have to worry about being able to speak about something. I want people, the listener, to have that sense of awareness. We're all human. We all experience the same thing in one way or another. It's just some people deny it and some people don't, you know. So originality, authenticity, and truth, for sure.
That's
I
a
love
great answer.
that.
And you can do that with any genre.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You could do that playing polka music, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. That is an incredible message, and I think that is a wonderful way to end our podcast. Wow.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you, Omar.
Yeah. So with that, I am Blake.
I'm Lily.
I am Omar.
And this is OnlyBands!
I love the instrument there.